Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's something on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you in a Let's Play episode of In Case of Emergency, Wes's Path. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alrighty. No, not save. Okay. I believe we're here. Alright, let's do it. Alright. Ah, God, 1 second, y'all. Oh, God, what is this one? Okay, I had something in my eye. Okay, it's gone. Alright. He's scared. Your shoulders sag. If there's a solution to his problems, to wanting the right things, to reacting appropriately when you finally get them, you still haven't figured it out. I can't. His hand trembles over the dick, fully recognizing what it would mean to reject fantasy and be forced back into the unbearable ordinary suffering of regular life. But there's no escape from the world you left. Not when you're always bringing with you the one thing you can never leave behind. I don't think I can do this. You can. I know you can. Because I was able to do it. And I only did it because I absolutely had to. And now you have to as well. I'm with you. But I'm with you all the way, okay? We're in this together. Wes nods, swallowing. Actually, this seems like a important decision, so let's see. I'm with you. Alright. Wes nods, swallowing. He catches your eye, a flash of apology in his blue orbs, before refocusing on the dick. When he closes his fists around it, you can feel the world flatten, condensing into fewer dimensions. The window overlooking the skyline now looks like a flat wall. The building's painted on its surface, just an arm's reach from where you stand. Before he reaches for it, Wes looks back at you. You nod to try and encourage him. You watch him visibly steel himself, squaring his shoulders as he touches the wall. It doesn't take much for the wall to fall over like a cheap cardboard prop. Beyond it lies nothing but void, as far as the eye can see. Somewhere out in the distance, you hear the sounds of waves crashing on the shore. Together, you step forward into the darkness, letting it swallow you whole. Oh boy. You walk for a period of time somewhere between nothing and forever. At a certain point, the darkness begins to incline upwards until it becomes a vertical slab. You don't realize this until you're already climbing, one hand being thrown over the other. Your arms burn, muscles exhausted after a long day. There's no way to know how far away the surface is until you breach it, your hand disappearing where it catches on the surface of a ledge. Pulling yourself up with both hands, you reappear in the room with the heart, your dick in your back pocket and the sword swinging from your side. In one corner, Remis is surrounded, kept in place by your friends that remained. He looks injured, propped up with one arm on the floor and breathing hard. Kieran! We saw you disappear! You wheeze for air as you scramble onto the ledge, ignoring the pain in your ankle. We've taken care of Remis, but... From behind, Wes helps you to your feet. Guys, we have to get rid of the artifacts. What? Are you crazy? Trust me. Trust me. You untie the leather straps attaching the scabbard to your waist and hand clasp around the sheath. Hold it out over the void. This is the only way. You grimace as you think about what you're throwing away. This was supposed to be your way out, the key to a better life. But at some point along the way, it turned into, perhaps it was all along, a shackle. Opening your paw, you let the sword fall, its blade spinning into the pitch dark of the void. Something in your gut settles, tightening like a thread connected to your navel has grown taut. Your friends look at you with concern. You must look like you've lost your mind. Wes is the first to step forward. He swings his shield out of his grip so he holds it by the top of its beveled edge. Kieran, I'm taking your word for this. He tosses the shield into the pit like a frisbee, letting it sail into the darkness before disappearing. He squeezes your arm. Luke makes a show of sighing and grumbling. Are you serious? Come on, man. I never get to keep anything nice. You know, it is water time. Okay. He grips the amulet around his neck tighter and steps towards the edge of the void. He tries to tear it off the clasp, fails, tries again, then reluctantly slides it over his neck and tosses it into the pit like he meant to do that all along. It slides into the darkness and vanishes. Cedric eyes dart between each of you, nothing to sacrifice of his own. What now? Well, I think the world's supposed to end now, but maybe I need to trigger it, or... You pull the dick from your back pocket and hold it out like the Holy Cross. You try to imagine home and the things you associate with it. Loneliness, debt, unemployment, a possible future of continued unemployment. But the tug against your navel doesn't change. Nothing changes. The portal doesn't open. Remus chuckles as he pushes himself onto one knee. Did you think it would be that easy? The crown around his temple glows faintly in the darkness, casting a blue light on his cheekbones. Peregrine cannot end. Don't you see? I will not allow it. Getting to his feet, Remus stretches out his arms. In a flash of light from his circlet, a sword and shield appear in either hand, a green amulet dangling from around his chest. It's similar to the relics you once held, but each a little different this time. Wrapped around the hilt of the sword, you notice, is an inlay of pink tourmaline dust that wasn't there before. On the shield's surface, you think you spy a new pattern of stripes, and the amulet this time is a smooth, opaque gem hanging from a silver ball chain. Remus spins the sword in his hand with an experienced flourish. The circlet around his head glows again, and you realize what's been in front of you this whole time. There was a fourth relic all along. It's the crown on his head! We have to get it off! Cedric is the first to react. Without hesitation, he races for Remus, unarmed. At the sight of the shield, Remus swats him aside and throws his body against a boulder. Cedric lands with a nasty-sounding crack, tumbling to the ground. Wes recovers soon afterwards. He lunges across the cave with his arms outstretched, intending to wrestle Remus to the ground. But Remus reacts quickly. He ducks to the ground to meet the assault with his shield, and flicking it upwards, flips Wes's body up and over him. Wes lands and skids to a halt on all fours. He tries to block the incoming blow, but he's unarmed. Remus catches him with the broad side of the shield, knocking him across the face once, twice, throwing him across the cavern with his final attack. From across the cavern, a rock sails through the air and hits Remus's shield with a loud thunk. Remus's head whips towards the source. He ducks just in time to avoid the next projectile that sails off into the void. Hey, pick on someone slightly smaller than your size! Luke checks the weight of another stone in his hand, winds it up like a baseball pitcher, and lets it fly. Remus extends his sword hand out, amulet glowing, and the rock freezes mid-flight, hovering at a distance from him. Oh, come on! Luke throws another rock, but that too is stopped by the barrier of force Remus is maintaining. With the flick of his wrist, Remus sends the rocks sailing back the way they came. Oh, fuck! The first rock hits Luke in the sternum and the second on the cheek, before slamming him back against the cave walls. Finally, Remus turns his attention to you. You reach for your sword, but realize too late that you no longer have it. All you have to defend yourself is the dick. Kieran, I had so much hope for you. Remus raises his sword for a downward slash, and you barely have time to deflect it with the dildo grasped like a weapon in your hand. You can't actually parry with it, not really, but you redirect the blow just enough so that the blade slashes across your knuckles and not your chest. Remus, we don't have to do this! Remus grimaces and comes in for another swing. This one you catch with the balls of the dildo facing outward, stopping the blade on your hilt. Remus's sword catches in the base of the sack and shaft, and centimeters from the delicate skin between your thumb and forefinger. With a grunt of frustration, Remus wrenches the sword free, nearly tearing the dick from your hands. He clashes with you again and again. You narrowly avoid his strikes with a combination of lucky parries and footwork, but you know your luck won't hold. You've had training, but Remus has been doing this for far longer than any of you. Every time you catch an attack with a dick, you can feel just how much stronger he is than you. So, water time. Remus roars as you stop his blade again with your weapon. This time he doesn't pull away. Instead, pushing forward so your arms are pinned against his body. With every step, his blade inches deeper into the silicone and closer to your neck. The blade is starting to cut through the dick. You feel the icy touch of steel against your paw, blood booming where it digs into your hands. And something hits Remus on the head with a heavy thunk, and the wolf swings around with the shield arm just in time to meet a charging Wes. Wes tackles him at the waist, and the two of them tumble to the cave floor, sending Remus's weapon scattering. Hold him still! Luke hobbles over, bleeding from a fresh cut on his forehead. He looks uncharacteristically weak without his magic, but he throws his body into the fight anyway, trying to pin down an arm or a leg. Kieran, help! You limp towards the dog pile, your body burning with adrenaline and the tattered dick still in your grasp. Remus roars. No! Blooming from Remus's prone body, you watch a light begin to grow brighter and brighter, expanding like a mushroom cloud in the wake of an atomic bomb. The force of the explosion sends all of you flying through the air. You land on your back with the wind knocked out of you. You hear things crack in you that you didn't think could crack. Something wet drips down your forehead and across the bridge of your muzzle. Remus pants and snarls, stumbling to his feet. You will never take Peregrine from me. This place will outlive us all. Remis struggles to his feet, picks up his fallen sword from the ground. Gripping his bloodied side, he limps over to you, steel blade dragging along the rock. Get up. You try to right yourself by putting weight on your arm, but a blast of pain fires off in your ribcage, like your organs are trying to skewer themselves on your own splintered ribs. You're barely able to pilot your aching body into a standing position as Remus approaches, his sword glittering in the dark. I won't let you destroy this world! Let's see. King of the feminists. This isn't radical queer politics, what? Listen, I get it. Part of the queer project is projecting heteronormative domestic unity and reproduction. And so if I die, yeah, sure, maybe there's something radical there beyond the mere sustenance of people who happen to hold certain identity categories. Remus thrusts his sword at you in a very phallocentric way. The blade scratches across your thigh, but you're too hopped up on adrenaline to feel if you broke skin or not. Not to worry, friends. Stay back. I'll rescue us from our foe's villainous plans. You charge at Remus before realizing that will put you directly in the path of his sword. Immediately, you pedal backwards and flee. There be dragons in that direction. Nothing seems to be getting through to Remus. At best, you're buying yourself time. At worst, you're dragging out your inevitable death. Cloistered scholar, pray. You clasp your hands together in prayer. Dearest Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Remus' encroaching swing forces you back on instinct. You bark in surprise as the tip of the sword catches on the fabric of your shirt's collar, tearing it slightly. It's clear this isn't working. It's obvious you're out of your element, desperately trying to cling to life rafts that are already being tossed over the edge. Remus, gathering his senses, simply points his sword at your chest and backs you against a wall. You're both huffing with effort, though you have the disadvantage of struggling to breathe against the tip of a sword. Every shallow, rattling breath you take, you can feel your chest press against steel. For the first time in your life, you have nothing to say. There's no clever quip to get you out of this situation. No obscure reference that will deliver you from the pickle you find yourself in. Despite everything, it's just you. No matter where you go, what you do or say, there's no escape from him. You close your eyes and wait for the end. Stop! We can yell. Water time. Alright, y'all, and we are back. Okay. The blow never comes. Managing to wrench open an eyelid, you watch Cedric getting to his feet in the middle of the cavern. Blood trickles down his nose and over his lips. There's something clutched in his hand. When he holds it aloft, a flash of recognition flits across Remus's expression. As Cedric's hand is the crowd, Remus quickly forgets you as he rounds on your friend. Through gritted teeth, he commands, Cedric, give that to me! Cedric hesitates as he fingers the crown uncertainly. The gem in its center twinkles with energy. I feel it! Cedric holds it up like he means to place it on his own head. Remus snarls. Don't you dare! You don't belong here! You think this means anything? Foolish boy, you were never meant for this world. And now you've overstayed your welcome. Cedric places the crown on his head. It fits perfectly. When Cedric opens his eyes, they're glowing faintly. Faintly, they say. It's like blinding white. I can see! He looks past you. At a certain point, only he can see. Remus growls and charges at him with his sword raised. Cedric raises his hand. And Wes, bloodied and bruised, meets Remus with a shield, its glowing outline shimmering against his wrist. They parry back and forth. Remus brings his sword down, and Wes meets it with his new weapon, sidestepping to dodge the follow-up strike. From behind, a bolt of fire strikes Remus's back and leaves a smoldering hole in his cape. Remus swivels to block the following bolts, one smoking white with frost, another crackling blue with lightning, and opens himself up for an uppercut from Wes's shield. In your own hand, the silicone implement in your grip feels heavier. Looking down, you see a glittering, translucent blade extend from the base of the dildo. Remus is fending off attacks on both sides from Wes and Luke. A flash of energy solders his shoulder, and a blow from Wes knocks him backwards. Before you can think, you're there to capitalize on him, your blade arcing across Remus's back. Remus howls, stumbling, and you dart forward to dig the tip of your sword ever so slightly between Remus's shoulder blades. Remus stills. The others surround him, and disarmed, Remus seems to quickly realize that he's out of options. He slowly lets his sword clatter to the floor, and he raises his hands in surrender, dropping to his knees. His broad shoulders rise and fall with his labored breathing. When he speaks, his voice is soft. Kieran, you will regret this. You circle him to hold your sword to his throat. As he looks up at you As he looks up at you from through blood-matted fur, you realize that he's not threatening you. He's warning you. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!